Welcome to my life. I can take a wild guess. You know what's crazy? What is this?
Sushi means sex.
What is going on this show?
It's the lighter side of the dark side.
Oh, no, he didn't.
What did you do, man? What did you do? Yes, welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It is your Thursday night freak show. And ladies, you got a treat today because you've got two handsome guys looking you in the face. We'll be joined by some lovely women in a little bit. But I am Dark Mark. I am the goth comedian. And I am joined by Vincent King, who is a vaudevillian magician. Am I right?
You're correct, sir, and thank you for having me on the air.
Oh, no, I'm glad to have you. It's funny because I posted... Don't tell Eden. Eden Draven is also here. She's the mortician magician.
Fantastic.
And Hell's Bell will be my co-host. She's running a little late, but she will be here. And she promises to bring toys and lube. And I've already poured some absinthe for both Eden and Hells. You're driving, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So before we get started, I wanted to thank a few people. It was quite a week for me. I was on quite a few shows this week. I was on the Tyrant Think with Orpheus Black. Do you know Orpheus Black?
Orpheus Black? No, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting him yet, no.
Well, that's probably good because Orpheus Black has been a guest on our show, and he sets girls on fire. He's a professional dom. He chokes. He does a lot of things.
How does one discover that that's a career choice? That's what I've always wondered, you know?
We talked about that. He's got other things going on. So he's got a podcast, too. That's not his only thing. So he did that. And then I was on... Come on in. Close the door if you can, please. Thank you. And this lovely young lady, we were just talking about you. Oh, boy. She's the mortician magician, as well as a burlesque dancer, and beautiful, beautiful woman, probably woman of my dreams with all the stuff that you do. Eden Draven.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, you want to try to get the mic a little closer.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
This is all new to me, folks.
Well, actually, that's a new setup, isn't it, Jeremy? That's a new setup with the mics.
Yeah, that was mainly for the cameras.
The camera that now is out.
Yeah.
Apparently, here at Skidrow Studios, the number one show on Skidrow Studios is not the Dark Mark Show. We're catching up. We're getting there. But Intellectual Kink is the number one show. And the 2 weeks in a row, they've had fisting, if I'm not mistaken.
No, actually, the fisting before that was Mistress C.
Okay.
That one, a guy got fisted, and then last night on Intellectual Kink, right where they're sitting right now, a lovely woman. Lovely woman got fisted.
There's a little sticky table here at Skidrow Studios. Well, we've had all sorts of. We had Doc Shock the guest. We had. I was telling about Orpheus Black, who set a woman on fire right over there on our show, and I was on his show on Friday. Nobody was burned, and it was fine. I wanted to thank Jeremy, our producer. That's Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy.
Because I went to the Skidrow Studios annual holiday party, 2-year anniversary party. I didn't know you guys were here 2 years.
Yeah.
And I've been here for about the last 4 months, and I, of course, with the fisting, I fit right in. And and it was quite a party. You had to see the alcohol was just everywhere, and he had catered some Mexican food. He had Lightning Woodcock, who's been on our show, was great. Many of Odd Nature played, and one of the hosts of the band played. Correct?
Mindy, she's a board op here, she played actually in 2 different bands that night.
So it was quite a party. I also wanted to thank this came last minute, and I was so thrilled. Gretchen Bonaducci had me on her show, and I was on her show on Film On, and that turned out really well.
Oh, that's cool.
Met a lot of cool people, and then on Monday I was on Guy Talk Radio on LA Talk Radio, and we basically talked about this show and all the hijinks, and talked about you guys coming on, and they were just like, what? They couldn't believe the show. So, and I did want to, if you're listening to this live, if you're in Los Angeles, I want to let you know I have an upcoming event that I would love for you to come to at the Cabo Wabo in Hollywood and Highland. I will be performing as part of the Bloody Mary Christmas. And
Awesome.
and Cleve Hall, you know Cleve Hall.
Of course. Cleve Hall. We've had a couple of discussions, actually.
About what?
First one was he was at a Night of the Raven. He was at a Night of the Raven at the Magic Castle.
Okay.
And a friend of mine said, "Oh, that's the guy from Face Off." And I said, "No, he has his own show."
Right.
Anyways, we just started talking through Facebook.
If you want some Splenda for that absinthe.
I don't know.
Traditionally, it's sugar, but in LA, it's strictly Splenda.
Well, I tried. I was trying to get some. Yeah, it was,
everybody here's got an eating disorder of some sort.
Exactly. So I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I don't mean anything by it. Just that I couldn't get any packets of sugar, so I had to get the
That's
fine.
fine. Yeah, let's see if I can kill this taste a little.
Right.
Anyways, and then I bumped into him at a club, Helter Skelter, and he was on stage dancing to Duran Duran's "A Chauffeur." So I started,
which is a very goth thing to do.
I would have never have thought I would have seen him up there dancing to that song.
That is,
and he's a very good dancer, by the way.
Now, Eden, why is that song of all the Duran Duran songs the goth song?
Well, it is for all the people that really don't know much about Duran Duran.
Right. Right, but that's the one that gets played at goth clubs. They don't play any other Duran Duran song.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Dun, 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 dun. It's all right. It's
probably because the video. If you've ever seen the video,
I've seen the video.
It probably has something to do with that.
Right. But so Cleve Hall was actually at the Magic Castle when I saw you there.
Mm-hmm, he was.
And so he's designing sets, and he's designing sets. We're going to have all sorts of interesting performances. Micah Cover.
Love Micah.
Micah's going to be doing magic at the Bloody Mary Christmas.
Oh, I'll have to definitely try and get out there.
We're going to have contortionists. We're going to have fire eaters.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have me performing, and Many of Odd Nature, who was at the Skidrow Studios party, is going to be performing. You know Many of Odd Nature, Charlie?
Yeah, they were actually there. I think we got there too late to miss a performance at
right.
the castle.
They're a terrific band. I've performed with them many a time. Sometimes they have Michael Vile, who did our theme song, does magic with them.
I was listening.
You just chuckled. You just chuckled when I said Michael Vile.
No, we were listening to your theme song today, actually.
Yeah. It does get stuck in your head.
It does. It's kind of disturbing.
You'll be dreaming. Sushi means sex. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Kind of stuff nightmares are made of.
Well, that's the idea. And and as a bonus, now I know. Speaking of goth songs from the '80s, you remember that song from the Lost Boys, "Cry Little Sister"?
No, I was never a Lost Boy fan. I know.
Well, you've heard the song, though.
Crucify me now. No, I have not. What is it?
Cry little. He knows. Cry little sister, thou shalt not fall.
Oh, now I know it. Now I know. That's what I had to say.
Right.
Okay. Yes.
I just had to sing it horribly. Sing it really badly. Cry for your mother, thou shalt. Yeah, that guy.
So you should actually record the entire song just by yourself. Just make it that much more horrifying.
I really shouldn't, because G. Tom Mack, who did the original song, is going to be performing at Bloody Mary Christmas.
Oh, cool!
So you can make it a duet, you know?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to shit on his parade. I don't want to frighten all the toys, all the people at Children's Hospital that'll be there. So it's free, Cabo Wabo, Sunday night, 8:00. It's free, but it's a benefit for Children's Hospital. So we'll have our handout. Donate what you can, canned foods, toys, whatever you can for Children's Hospital. So that's enough of me. I'm going to turn the camera around. So we only I
had already thought it was on.
No. Well, this camera's on, so that's a good view.
Okay.
And Hell's Bell will be coming later, and I told Vince. No, well, you can leave it there for now. I told Vincent Hell's. Normally we had Josie Cat. Normally Josie Cat is my co-host.
Okay.
My original co-host was Hell's Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Josie can't make it, like this week, she's doing a yoga thing. She's she's studying to be a class 2 yoga teacher. So she's bending herself and twisting herself in all sorts of positions that I'm picturing right now.
She should have been on the show
like
before us then. We've gone hand in hand.
Right.
So, or hand in another place, but that's another show completely.
There'll be a lot of hands in other places. And so she's not going to be here, but so Hell's Bell is very nice. She fills in every now and then. Last time she was here, she got choked. And the first time she was here was my first show. Mm-hmm. I had Bree Walker and Michael Vile doing sleight of hand. So that was great. And she wanted Bree Walker to adopt her. Mm-hmm. I had her on a few weeks later with Sing Quirin, the guitar player from Ministry, and Cornelius Grant, the guitar player from the Temptations.
Oh,
it was Cornelius Grant's 70th birthday, so she danced on the table. She got on the table. This was at Universal Studios, and started grinding on the table. Hadn't seen her in a while.
For a 70-year-old man?
Oh, yeah. Well, for everybody.
How did he hold up?
He brought these mink-lined gloves.
Meat?
Mink.
Oh, I thought you said meat.
Because I'm always wearing my skeleton gloves.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, I got some gloves. So he had these mink-lined gloves. So he is stroking her with his mink-lined gloves while Sing Quirin is spanking her ass. And I'm trying to do the show like, hey, how's the new Ministry album? How does it sound,
Yeah, kind of distracting, I guess. Huh?
A little distracting. And then we had, last time she was here, we had Master Overbound. And he gave some choking demonstrations, even choked me. So,
did you like it?
No, I got a big neck. I don't think I got full control. So I don't know where to begin. Now, it's funny because I post pictures of our guests, and usually it's the beautiful women that get all the attention. Mm-hmm. Vincent King got a lot of attention. So you must be a handsome guy.
I've had more than a few compliments.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. You're a handsome guy.
Thank you for saying it. I was pleasantly surprised by I tend to get at least 20, 25 compliments a day when I leave the house with the mustache. So it's working for someone. I just did it for me. So
I guess we'll have to start with the mustache. Now, do you use wax? How does somebody get that nice that type of mustache? That sort of went out in 1892, but apparently you're bringing it back.
I sold my soul for my great grandfather's mustache. About 2 years ago now, a friend of mine basically bet me when I was looking at this old magic poster. It's like, I've always wanted a mustache like that. It's like, do it by Christmas, and I'll make it worth your while. So, of course, Christmas rolls around. I found out about this little Clubman's wax, not to give them a plug, but they make a fantastic wax, comes in a tube. It's nice and light, And in the Secret Brother, that's something most people don't know. When you have a mustache like this, everyone who has like remotely long facial hair suddenly recognizes you as some sort of brother. You're in this cult now. And half your conversation between the two of you will be about what wax you use to keep it in place, what kind of conditioner. And it's amazing what you can find at just a CVS, but then you go online and you find people who like hand brew wax and beard conditioner. It's insane. So
right. And, today all these emos are growing beards, so everybody's got long facial hair now.
Yeah.
But so how long, like if I were to do that, how long would it take for me? Because I got a little growth here.
Yeah, a little growth there. You got kind of got like a quarter of a toothpick happening now. So yeah, you give that about another like month and a half.
Just don't shave it.
Just don't shave it. That's the hardest part, is just like having the patience not to just bite it off yourself once it gets to a certain length. But when it's there...
Do I start with the wax now, or do I...
No. Let it get long enough and bring it out. And then like when you wake up and it looks like a spider is like sitting on either side of your face, that's when you get the wax, because that's when your mustache is just going to fight you until you tame it.
Right. And don't worry, Andrew. We're going to get to your mustache in a second. But
I shaved it. You can still see it.
Well, you're a vaudevillian magician, is that correct?
I am a vaudevillian magician. I do a lot of strolling events, so I like to get like right up to the table where my next audience will be.
So, like, when you say strolling events, like you're down at the beach, at the street, that type of thing?
The beach, the street, cocktail parties, I could do stuff on stage for you if you want, but when I'm booked, I usually try to say it's like, have your band play, and in between sets, like I will hunt down anyone who looks like they're not having a good time and just blow them away with whatever I have on me.
Right. Eden looks like she needs to be blown away right now, but
later
he needs to be blown away.
Hey, so I take it you two are dating? Is that what's happening?
No, kinda.
Well, just say it. It's all right.
Yeah,
good for you.
Just look at him. Why wouldn't I do?
Well, because he doesn't like Johnny Depp like all of your other boyfriends.
No. Now Please. It's okay.
No. And trust me, your old boyfriends didn't look like Johnny Depp either, but they thought they did. Now, Eden Draven, you're a cool guy. I like you already.
Thank you, man.
Eden Draven, I don't know if you know. I've known Eden for a few years. Yes. We met at Bar Sinister. You actually came up to me.
What? Didn't we? I thought we met at the burlesque show.
No, I took you to the burlesque show after we met at Bar Sinister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes.
Right, so I met you at Bar Sinister. You came up to me, and you're like, oh, you're that goth comedian guy. And apparently we probably met before, or who knows what happened.
I think I had seen your show or something before.
Right, so how thrilled was I when she came up to me, and then I picked her up, and she told me about her 8 cats, and you are a goth girl. There's no question about it. You are now. You're the mortician magician.
Yeah.
So what came first, the mortician or the magician?
Magician. It was kind of at birth. I was kind of forced into it because my grandfather was a magician.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Anybody we would know?
Well, his name was Tom Gordon.
I guess not.
Nobody but my mentor you would know. My mentor, his name's Fred Cotillar. He was also a vaudevillian magician, an original vaudevillian.
Okay.
So when I started studying under him, he was 86 years old.
Wow.
And the man was full of all kinds of stories.
I bet he was.
Yeah.
Do you have any that you can share?
No.
What's the craziest vaudeville story? Even Vince is like, I'd like to hear a vaudeville story.
Let me ask this. Would you be willing to talk about like his first entertainment job? Because I thought that was fascinating.
You mean what he did when he was an orphan?
Yeah, well, actually when he escaped from being an orphan, so to speak.
He used to dance and shine shoes, and he was hired to work at a vaudeville show. It's kind of like an errand boy when he was little.
Okay.
And he basically was raised by the vaudeville circuit.
Okay.
So, he
was an orphan, and he just basically ended up traveling with everybody.
He bailed on his own, and he was on his own from when he was like a super small kid to maybe age 13.
Right. Or apparently age 86 when he met you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But what a life.
Yeah,
it's not for everybody, but...
No, but could you imagine that? Like 8 years old, and you're like, God, I got to dance really good today so I can get some food.
Exactly. Right. So, he knew if he didn't, dance his little heart away, he would starve.
Right.
Because he didn't want to tell the people he was working with, the vaudevillians, that he was just, he slept on the streets and stuff.
Right. Like today, Miley Cyrus, she just half-asses it,
Exactly.
Britney Spears. Now this guy, he's really working it.
But they finally figured it out and took him in. And
so when did you meet him again?
I met him when I was an intern at the pharmacy. And he came in. This was after my grandfather had passed away, and I was.
When you say the pharmacy, you mean you actually worked at a drugstore?
I did. I was studying pharmaceuticals.
Right. Because these days pharmacies have a whole different connotation.
No. This is like behind the counter.
Jeremy knows about the pharmacies. He's
giving us the thumbs up.
Yeah, he's got some anxiety and some insomnia and other problems. But
don't we all?
Anyway. So he came into the drugstore.
Yeah, he came into the pharmacy to pick up some meds, and he had a Bugs Bunny tie.
Oh wow! I gotta get
Bugs
one of those.
Bunny
pulling himself out of a hat,
pulling a little miniature of himself out of a magic hat.
Right.
And I just said, "Oh, are you a magician?" Because my grandfather was, and he passed away, and I'm kind of looking for somebody that was in the vaudevillian circuit.
Right.
And he says, "If you're serious," he goes, "I'm your man." So, 6 a.m. that Saturday, I showed up at his house, and I showed up 5 minutes late, and he wouldn't see me. He told me.
It's very Kill Bill.
Exactly. He was, yes.
He was her Pai Mei.
So exactly. So next Saturday, I showed up at 6:00 on the dot.
Right.
And ever since that day, he taught me everything he knew.
Right.
So if it wasn't for him, I would probably no longer be a magician.
Right. And then are there things that you know that other people don't because you know the old school and the old school way?
Well, I'm sure some other people do know it, but a lot of them don't perform it anymore.
Yeah, because that's the thing I got to ask you guys. Now you guys you're both magicians, and I might as well just turn the camera over to both of you because I don't know if Hells is probably going to come in like the last 10 minutes and, just probably who knows what she's going to do. But
she found the other bottle of absinthe outside.
Well, no, there's a shot waiting for her right there.
Actually, this absinthe isn't bad, I just had to say, because usually it's disgusting and I can't even bother.
I got plenty of it. Yeah, that's the official drink of the Dark Mark Show. I think the Splenda is what makes it. But you guys are. I'm gonna start putting Splenda in it now. But you guys are. So you're magicians now. When you see magic, and you know the tricks, you know what they're doing. Because I was with you at the Magic Castle.
Yes, you were.
And did I read correctly that you just got in the Magic Castle, or
actually she more or less sponsored me so that I could get into the Magic Castle, and it's the biggest thrill of my life because I was this East Coast boy doing my vaudevillian magician stick, and she said, well, come out, I'll take you to the castle. And then I get here and she goes, oh, by the way, you're a member now. So
are you living here now, or you're from the East? Are you still on the East Coast?
I'm still on the East Coast. I'm working on moving out here.
I knew there was something. Mm-hmm. I knew there was something. It's a long distance relationship. There's some complication in an Eden Draven relationship. I know it.
There's nothing complicated about him.
His mustache is already complicated enough. No, but what I was going to say, because Eden took me, she didn't took me. I just ran into her at the Magic Castle. I was there to support Micah and Charlie, and I ran into a bunch of people. I ran into Don Knott's daughter, Karen, who I know is from comedy. I ran into a bunch of people I knew, and I ran into you, and I'm glad because you're on the show now, and you're one of the most fascinating people. We're going to get to the burlesque, we're going to get to the magician, but
that's fine.
When you're watching the comedy show, the magic show, the comedy show, when you're watching the magic show, I mean, you knew exactly how everybody did or what they did.
There's a few things that it takes me a while to figure out, but usually
Are you always figuring it out, or are you...
Unfortunately, that's kind of a downside of being a magician is you can't just enjoy the show anymore.
Right.
It kind of becomes kind of like a scientific thing you're trying to figure out, like, oh, how did they do that, you know?
Right, I'm not going to ask you how they did these specific tricks, but I mean, isn't that, doesn't that, you can't really enjoy magic anymore, right?
Well, no, that's not true at all, because when I watch it, I mean, you're watching for different things, like how they hold the audience, but every now and again, I'll be watching, it's like, yeah, it's in the pocket, and it's transfer here, and then, like, something out of left field will come at me.
Right.
And just floor me. I was like, you magnificent bastard, that still happens. So, like, he may be doing something we know how to do, but then he'll employ it in just the right way.
And hold that thought, because the real magic has arrived. Hell's is downstairs if you can get her, Jeremy. No, you guys are the real magic. I'm just kidding. Hell's Bell is quite magical. Wait till she comes in. And she's already in love with your mustache, so I'm going to, good thing you're in the middle.
Oh,
so,
I'll kick an ass.
I know you will, so please don't. She's really cool. So what was the last thing that, like, astounded you? You're like, I can't figure it out. And maybe you figured it out later, but you're like...
Oh, God. It was actually rather recently. It was like a really simple idea in terms of all the things magicians do, but the man before... Can I say his name on air?
Okay, well, are we allowed to say names?
Just say whatever you want, yeah.
No,
that's fine. It's not... Yeah,
okay,
the performer's name was Fitzgerald. I've never seen him before.
Oh, Gary.
And he's entertaining as hell. He comes out with the pixies blasting, and like he's not just producing cards, but like he's like shaking his little Irish butt to this thing.
Amazing.
Right.
And partway through his show, he did a card to pocket, which the title implies it all. It's like Spectre has a card, it's shoved into the deck, suddenly it's in his pocket. But at first, this kind of went hokey. And then when he was, he shoves it back in and he reaches in and he pulls out 2 cards and neither of those are it. And he keeps like fishing out. The entire deck was in his pocket and then the card was just waiting in his hand. And like I did not see where this mystical transference happened. And I just sat there, like I said before, just staring at him. I was like, you magnificent bastard.
Did you figure it out later?
Oh, I figured it out later. But like this, I love those moments that can still happen to me, even though we're on the inside, so to speak. So,
what was the last thing that astonished you, Eden?
Me? Well, first, before I answer that, let me just say, like, you could be a somewhat good magician, but you have to be a good showman before that, and that's what Fitzgerald is.
Right.
But the last thing that floored me was probably, God, I hate saying this, but yeah, David Copperfield. He did something.
Oh, you got to go. Get out of here.
I'm sorry. No. Let me tell you why.
What did David the Statue of Liberty disappearing is bullshit,
no,
okay?
Not that. I saw this, like, he was where you are now.
Okay.
The man had a laser. I know, it's cheesy. Cut him in half. His torso went down to his lower legs.
Right.
He grabbed. I know how this is done now, but it was so astonishing.
Okay. Tell me the trick and then tell me how he did it.
Oh, okay. I can't tell you how he did it, or else I'd have to kill you, and then I could take care of you after that.
That's the magician's thing.
So he held onto his thighs, and he walked down the aisle.
So wait a second. So his
legs are separate from his body, and his legs carried his torso down the aisle.
Oh, speaking of magic, look who's here. Hell's right. Sit right there. Hell, because I want that. This is like the ultra cleavage shot right here. Is Hell's Bell Eden Draven.
Camera 2 doesn't have anything about me now.
That's your shot. Actually, apparently the Splenda's working good.
Oh yeah.
Have a seat, Hells.
In case you need water, I'm assuming. Can I give her some?
Yeah,
She's like, I don't need water.
We'll just give her the bottle.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Hells, thanks for coming on the show. Hells, this is Eden Draven. She's the mortician magician.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
And this is Vincent King.
Hello.
From where back east again?
A little place called Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like the top guy in Harrisburg.
I'd like to think so.
Do you go to Atlantic City, New York, and Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh?
I get around. Philly? I do a lot of gigs out in Hershey, PA, where all the chocolate comes from.
Okay. Do you do the Chocolate Factory?
I haven't done the Chocolate Factory, but I worked with a company that works with Milton Hershey School a few times. That's actually one of my favorite things to do. Those kids are freaking amazing. And I've been down in Westminster and just... Well, whoever wants to see me, I'll go.
And now you're in the Magic Castle in L.A. Where do you go back to that small town in Pennsylvania?
I go back Thursday. I'm dreading every minute. I love home, but like...
Not only that, and you were on the Dark Mark show. And everybody
the Dark Mark show. What could follow this?
I don't know, but it's crazy. So
It's hard to
It's
top.
hard to top. How have you been, Hells?
Absolutely wonderful and busy.
Because last time you were choked.
Yeah,
and
that was pretty fun.
And I was telling him how when you danced on the table.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then when you wanted Bree Walker to adopt you.
Me as her
yes.
child, yes.
So Eden Draven, she's a magician. She learned from an 80-year-old, 86-year-old vaudevillian master. So when did you become a mortician?
That's another funny story. Hollywood, excuse me. I don't want to say anything. Where I work, hired.
I think we figured it out.
Too late.
Whoops.
Do they have a big Johnny Ramone statue in the middle of the cemetery?
They might.
Okay,
maybe.
okay.
Anyways, to make a long story short, they have a Halloween party. I'm not going to give it away. Anyways. And they wanted some.
Well, I think cemeteries are starting to do all this now. Like, they were the first ones, this unnameable one. And now, like, all the cemeteries are like, well,
they're all
let's
trying
make
to
some
copy us. Right. It's kind of pathetic. But they did a Halloween party and they hired they wanted a couple of dark magicians.
Right.
So the Magic Castle sent the darkest magician they have.
Which was you?
And yeah, me. So I was walking around doing strolling magic, and I happened to go up to this guy who I thought was rather attractive.
As you do. Is your
And he ended up being the owner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he said, you know what? You have a really warm personality. Have you ever thought of getting into the funeral business? And I said, hey, don't go making assumptions. Don't make assumptions on the way I look. And he says, no, I'm serious. He goes, I like your personality. Would you like a tour of this place?
Right.
So after I finished my strolling job, the marketing director put me in a golf cart and took me all around the place. And at that time, I was working in pharmacy doing my internship, and I hated my boss.
Right.
We got into a big argument the following work day that I had. So I quit.
Ooh.
And I called cemetery first and said, I'm ready to quit. Are you going to hire me?
Right.
He said, be here the next day.
All right.
So that's how it started.
So you had another mentor mentoring you and your warm, bubbly personality, how to embalm dead bodies.
I did.
And prepare them. And you've been doing that ever since.
Yeah, since 2008.
Now you say you have a dark act. What is a dark trick? What is even darker than most magic that you do? I've never seen you do a trick. You still owe me.
I'm very influenced by spook shows.
Right.
And
well, you have the look. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
But is there? Yeah. Thanks, Vince. It's all right. I'm over here. Don't worry about it. I'm not hitting on it. Trust me, I'm just enjoying this. You got to see the view that I got. I'm just enjoying this. This is like this double
Enjoy
action.
that for me. I'm good. I'm set.
Yes. I'm sure you are. But please, that's enough for 4 guys. I know I've seen it, but let me tell you. But so, what's a dark trick? Like what's a dark card trick that you do?
Well, I really don't have any dark tricks.
Right.
It's the presentation and my appearance that makes it dark.
Right.
So,
So you're doing the pick a card, but
I know
it's
if
like,
people
wow,
don't want to walk by me at the end of my show, I did a good job.
Right.
There's 2 exits to one of the rooms I perform at, and if they tend to use the other exit, then I know I did a good job.
Because they're so freaked out by what you did.
Oddly enough, a handful of them that actually walk up to her, ask her about her jams and jellies at the end of every show.
Oh, they do. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The jams, you do jams and jellies?
Well, after each show, you can stop off at any gift shop and pick up my homemade jams and jellies.
I didn't know you made homemade jams and jellies. When did you tell me this?
Yeah, I do.
Christmas gifts. Now I gotta hype it up. If somebody wants Eden Draven's jams or jellies, where would they order them?
They're the Mortician Magician's homemade jams and jellies. Most people don't really consider them edible.
Oh, those jams and jellies. I think Hell's Bell may have brought some of those jams and jellies here tonight.
We're gonna get some more of that. Sounds tasty.
It's kind of a joke. I mean, I really don't sell homemade jams and jellies. It's just Would you buy jams and jellies that were homemade by a mortician? Really?
I would.
She would.
I would totally.
She totally would.
Would you try them?
Yes, in fact, I'm getting a little bit turned on here. I'm like, damn, where can I get some?
She's drinking absinthe out of a shot glass. She would do jams and jellies. But Hells, now we know you. You're a
psycho crazy person. Yeah,
that too. But I mean, you're an adult entertainer. Have you ever done burlesque?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Because
for over 10 years.
You know who does burlesque?
Who?
Eden Draven.
What?
Yeah. Started off with Madam Sunset.
She actually has my dream job. I always wanted to do that, but it took so much. I guess I was told it took like so many years to actually do that. But I had a friend that started embalming and doing all that. So
it doesn't take as long as people think it does.
I think that's what it is. People think it's going to take double as a doctor.
Can you move the mic?
It's
closer to me.
Is that yeah. Yeah, we can't hear you. So she always wanted to be a mortician. How long does it take to be a mortician?
It takes about 2 years. It's the internship that takes a while because you need to have supervised embalmings for 150 bodies before you get licensed. So depending on the...
And it has to be a licensed mortician supervising. It can't be like me or Vincent supervising.
No, it cannot. But I mean, if you work at a busy funeral home, you could get that done in like a couple months.
So they always say this thing about the smell. Is that really something, or is that just something people say? Do you get used to it?
The smell is atrocious, and you never get used to it.
It's the truth.
There's actually...
now, is it that the bodies, or is it the embalming fluid, or all of it?
It's all of it.
Ooh.
It's, it's...
And you never get used to it.
No.
People that shit their pants when they died and stuff
Everybody
like that.
shits their pants. Everybody.
Yeah, it's
well,
just
I haven't
hard.
shit my pants in a while, but when you die, I suppose you shit your pants.
Well, you lose most people. You lose all control.
All control.
So you have to wipe up and things like that?
Actually, I do not do that. This is going to sound horrible, but I have somebody under me now.
Oh, so is that where
Minion? That's what
you have a dark minion that wipes ass for you?
I would come in. I'd be like cleaning up after her.
I'm surprised you haven't told Hells that she can understudy under you.
Oh no! Now I know it's going to take 2 years. I'm be online being like, hey, where can they go?
Right. She'll be wiping ass for 2 years.
Hell yeah.
You've wiped an ass or two.
I've been in the medical field for over 15 years.
Right.
So.
She's a licensed paramedic. So
that's nothing to me.
Right.
So no, I have literally never wiped an ass at work. I've always had somebody do
your own, I would suppose.
I do wipe my own ass sometimes.
Right. Well, geez, I didn't know that. So
I'm joking.
Stop asking things, God.
Right. So Vince,
no, he wipes his own ass.
Right. So we'll get back to the vaudeville with Vince. So you're on the East Coast. So what's the difference between the East? So how long have you been out in L.A.?
I've been out in L.A. for 5 days now. Give or take.
Wow, and you're already on podcasts. You're already in the Magic Castle. I mean, look what's happened to you. Now you're a star.
Yeah, I just need the right pair of sunglasses to wear at all times.
Have you been down in Venice Beach, like doing some magic or other places?
Not yet. Actually, some friends were giving me some crap about that. They're like, so have you gone to the beach yet? It's like, it's still December in LA, right? They're in a cold snap.
Right. There's still people out there, trust me, and I'm sure they would be quite befuddled at some of the tricks. You guys didn't. I told you don't have to do any tricks. But did you bring any tricks?
You don't have to, but
Vince, you got a trick for me?
I'll do something. You know what? I'll do something just for you, actually.
And actually, because last time, okay, let me put Jeremy's doing some good direction. Let me put the camera on you. Last time we had a magician on with Hell's Bell. He pulled something out of her cleavage, and then we had and then
balls blue.
They were actually clear, believe it or not. Actually,
and then we had another magician on with Josie Cat, and he pulled balls out of her cleavage. But we got a card trick now, so no balls and cleavage. So
his balls will be my cleavage later. Sorry,
I would hope so.
I say that.
See, I can't follow that now.
So let me now with this flirtation going on, where did you guys meet?
Oh God!
Online? Did you guys meet online?
That's the magician story. Dang it.
It is.
No, it was the weirdest thing. Like, I got this suggestion on social networking. Facebook, thank you.
Oh, Lord.
And I'm just...
Damn Facebook.
Normally I think, well, I'd like to meet people before I friend them because there's just so much that goes through there and whatnot. But I saw this face, and I'm like, well, maybe I could be friends with her, Maybe. But, so I clicked friend, and she accepted, and we were like, at first it was just like random things, like, I saw you performing at the castle, break a wand, back and forth. One day I thought you looked just like this editor of this vampire erotica that I saw in a bookstore. And it was the most random question I could have asked anyone, but I was like, I have to know. But the answer was no, by the way.
Right.
But,
you've written some erotica in your time.
I've read.
You've written some, haven't you?
A little bit. Vincent hasn't read it yet.
Right.
Because he is
because you're the ultimate hyphenate. You're a mortician, you're a magician, you're a burlesque dancer. We're gonna get to that, but let's get to the trick, Vince. I didn't mean to delay you.
All right, no. Since you got the table away, just call stop from here whenever you want.
Stop.
Right there. All right, kick that out. We'll do the dark card of mystery. You know what? Just get Hell's Bell in on the fun here. Do me a big favor. Take the Sharpie. Just put your name, credit card, account number, anything you run on the front
How about
of
I
that.
just put my initials?
All right, fine. Make me work for it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Did you remember that, Hells? You got your initials down?
Yeah, I did remember my initials.
All right. I'm just going to.
And Hells, you got quite a tan since last time I saw you.
Stop! I don't know why you
sun.
say that every
Well,
time.
first off, you're sitting next to Eden Draven, who's pale as fuck. But I know.
I know, it's probably she's like gleaming off of me.
And
which
you're from
makes me
Pennsylvania. I interrupted the trick. Go ahead. I'm trying to misdirect.
We'll talk about that later.
I'm trying to misdirect. Well, I'll talk about
in
tan later.
fairness, because I can see the camera there, I'm just going to do one of these things, all right? In fact, just to show I'm being fair, I'll do a couple of shuffles for you. This, by the way, if any of you care about this at home, that's the riffle shuffle, overhand shuffle. What's next was obviously learned before I met Eden. This is known only as Lonely Guy. So no one should have that kind of time on their hands. Now, all right, if you saw it again, you remember it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Well, HB, she put it right on there.
Let's hope so.
All right. Mark, say something in a sexy voice for me.
Something in a sexy voice.
Perfect. All right. Woo. Little explosion there, but Mark, does that look like Hell's initials for me?
Well, hey.
I can't even do that.
So,
Well, you want to give him applause for that? That's pretty good.
Awesome.
But you know how it's done. I can see you're like, I know how
it's done, but I can't do it.
She knows all the little tricks.
Well, wait a second. You know how it's done, but you can't do it?
There's a lot of magic. I know how it's done, but I can't do it.
Right.
I am the worst close-up magician in the world.
Okay, so your stuff is good far away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an illusionist. He's a magician.
Okay. What's the difference?
My stuff looks very far away. His looks very close up.
Okay, but that was a sort of an illusion, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of stage stuff and parlor stuff. He does parlor and close up.
Okay. I like that, Vincent. That was a good trick. I'm sorry.
Very much.
I'm sorry. because I know I started bullshitting with Hell's Bell in the middle.
No,
I
it's
can
all
tell
good.
like through you, you're like,
It happens.
let me do the trick, and yeah.
He's trying to do a trick.
no, when you're in a bar and you have like beautiful and drunk people, I expect these things to take like 45 minutes.
That was like
You actually did that fairly quickly, so that was pretty
especially
impressive.
the lonely guy shuffle. But that was like the equivalent of somebody heckling a comic. I was heckling the magician. That was just. But anyway, so you've done burlesque. So I met you at Bar Sinister, and you're like, I do burlesque.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had it was Peep Show Menagerie.
Yes.
At our old favorite, which sadly is no longer the Bordello Bar.
They closed that place down.
Right.
That place.
You remember the Bordello Bar?
I do.
Did you
I
do
know.
burlesque at the
That was
Bordello Bar?
like- I never, unfortunately, did a chance to do that. No.
They had the perfect stage for it. It was
I think they
amazing.
just shut down. Yeah, when I moved out here.
Because I hosted and then the last time I saw you, actually the last time I saw you before the Magic Castle, I believe, is when you performed at the Devo
Oh, yeah.
burlesque show.
That was fun.
They had a burlesque show. Oh, Vincent doesn't even know about this. They had a burlesque show, and I don't know. You're a magician. You've got a handlebar mustache, glasses. I don't know how nerdy you are, but
I'm a huge nerd. It's
Awesome.
that's the thing. That's the thing. Nerds are in. So
They are.
yeah. So
We're all
I'm going to the Devo burlesque show. I didn't know Eden was in it, but I saw her going across the street with her then pirate boyfriend, and
Just rubbing in.
no,
Pirate boyfriend.
no. She just has. You have better taste in cats than you do men, except for this guy. This guy's cool. I like this guy.
He's amazing.
No, he's cool. It's funny because I talk to you like you're a regular guy. I ask you questions, you answer. You're friendly. You do good tricks. I told her other boyfriends are like, hello, nice to meet you.
check out my eyeliner.
Yes, hello. No, it's not even the eyeliner because I wear an eyeliner. Who gives a shit about that? But it's like, no. The last time I met you, you magically walked by me in Vegas.
I did?
Yeah, I was with my grandmother. We were down on Fremont Street, and that's when you were living in Vegas a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks like Eden. And I chased you down to Fremont Street, and you were there, and you were with your then boyfriend, who apparently thought himself a Johnny Depp impersonator, even though he didn't look anything like Johnny Depp.
I was just gonna say that. He's a Johnny Depp impersonator.
So he he had the like facial. So he's like, he's dressed like Johnny Depp, like in interviews. Like he's got the little, the hat and the whole bohemian thing. So I was like, oh, the guy's like trying to, he's got kind of style. He's trying to, he's got style like Johnny Depp. Then I saw you at the Devo thing. So I saw you after that.
Yes, you did.
And he had the whole pirate thing going on.
Yeah, you did.
And you did freedom of choice.
Did.
And he was
my doggy.
He was your doggy.
Yeah.
And that was good. That was quite arousing, actually.
Was it?
Well, you and Vince will tell you, you stripping down to lingerie is pretty arousing, and twirling your breasts and twirling your tassels and things like that.
Can we get a shot? Just a little sneak peek.
Because Hell's showed her breast last time. You want to do it again? That's you're.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Okay. See, there you go.
Not me.
Right. Okay. I just lead by example. Thank you, Hells. But,
anytime.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So how did you get into burlesque? Now, what magician first?
Magician first.
There's so many things you do. Or magician first. Well, I'm assuming cat lady first.
I'm the crazy cat lady.
She's got how many cats do you have now?
I have a lot.
Is it?
I have eight, and I have a screaming umbrella cockatoo as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you walk into her apartment, you get that force field of cat pee hitting you, or
no, it's amazing. Like it's like clockwork. Everything's set out, and when you come in, like you wouldn't know there were cats there, except 3 come to greet you immediately and make sure that you pass the security check.
Yeah, and he passed the cat check too. I know you have.
My cats love him.
Right.
More so than me. They ignore me and they go to him.
Right, because if you don't pass the cat check, you're out.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Exactly.
I almost didn't get to the show today because one of them kept sitting on top. Like I was sitting on the couch.
Dude, the cat was sitting on your face.
It was sitting on my chest, but it was staring at me. It's like, look, either kiss me or get out because you're just
right.
Oh. Cat with intimacy issues. It's
right. It's Eden's cat. What do you expect?
Sorry.
So wait a second. So it's your cat lady, crazy cat lady.
Crazy cat lady.
Then you're a magician. And then you're a mortician.
Yes.
Where does burlesque fit in?
Burlesque came in between those two. No, it came after I became a magician.
Okay, so it's between magician and mortician.
Right in the hyphen.
Right. So who talked you into doing burlesque?
Oh my God, it's a long story. I was at a comic book convention. And,
fancy that.
and
you were doing it before it was cool.
I was.
Yeah, you were doing it when it was a bunch of guys with their Green Lantern, comic
sexy
books.
Nerd guys. And this girl came up to me and she said, "Are you a burlesque dancer?" I said, "No, I'm not." Her name was Madam Sunset.
Yes,
and,
I know Madam Sunset.
So she's like, "Well, we're looking for a girl and we really like your look and we need somebody that has dark hair and kind of has a dark image. Would you be willing to, meet with us?" And I took years and years of dance. So I said, "Oh, why not?" So I met and I went to her rehearsal space, ended up loving everybody there.
And you knew what burlesque was and you knew...
I knew of it, but I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
But she taught me everything.
Right.
And I ended up joining her troupe for a while. And then she kind of drifted off.
Yeah,
so after that, I ended up working with Peep Show Menagerie.
Right, which is weird because I met Madam Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And then right when I met her, she's like, "I want you to host my show."
She's a sweetheart.
So a very similar thing, yeah. So she's, and now, so then are you still performing with Peep Show Menagerie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When's your next burlesque?
It was going to be in December, but he's going to be staying a little bit later than anticipated. So the next one will be the following, probably January, and I'm probably going to be doing the naked.
So wait a second, you guys are going to be so busy fucking you can't do Peep Show Menagerie? Is that what's...
Probably.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not going to lie, the only time we stop fucking is when we go to Magic Castle.
And the Dark Mark show.
Sometimes we fuck there too. No, we haven't yet, but...
No, but you probably fucked at Disneyland, I would imagine. Yeah, please hydrate yourself.
On the way over here.
We were trying.
Right?
Oh, but we'll fuck on the way back.
You're like, we didn't over here, but
have you fucked at Disneyland? Because you know how they catch that on camera.
No, there was nowhere to...
They do?
No. Disneyland was
have you fucked at Disneyland?
I'm not going to lie, I have.
That's a rhetorical question. We know.
I didn't know they...
No, because they put that... They've got stuff on YouTube where the people that work at Disneyland, they put it on YouTube now where the people are fucking in Space Mountain.
We should start doing it at the cemetery. I catch people fucking there all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I do that all the time.
Didn't you catch a Santeria couple there that said, it's like, this is where I'm supposed to conceive according to God?
We found everything there. I find chicken heads.
I undercover cameras or...
We have very few cameras. I'm just going to say.
So you're just walking around amongst the graves.
Well, sometimes I get there early and I go, check, because I also do sales too, so I have to make sure things are in place for my, services
Sales
that day.
pitch, yeah.
And, one day I'm just, going around and there's these two people and I'm like, this is so disgraceful. But they weren't your typical little gothic trolls. They were an older couple.
Right.
So, and they were actually trying to conceive there because that's what they were told to do.
So you're like,
friggin' voodoo god or whatever they believed in.
Just carry on, Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we find chicken heads. I found a baby in a jar. We found all kinds of crap.
What? Mm-hmm. A dead baby, I'm assuming?
A dead baby. Actually, it was buried, but we saw the top of the bag sticking up.
Oh, okay. So they were trying to bury it in the cemetery.
They did, but to make a long story short, it didn't reach the weight requirement, so it wasn't considered a human being, so there's no investigation.
Wow.
Kind of messed up, huh?
The stuff that you learn in the cemetery. See, now Hell's really wants to work as a cemetery.
I know.
Like, people are fucking.
I'm going to get on
that. Things, and babies and heads and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Heads, fucking.
But you sell the plots?
I do it all.
Right. So has anybody come up to you? Because obviously you have that, and Vince will back me up on this. You have that gothic dream girl, very creepy, pasty white, ghoulish look.
Pasty, glowing.
Yeah, I
say pasty.
Look.
I say pasty as a compliment. She'll tell you.
I have a friend that calls me powder, so it doesn't matter.
Right. So I was downstairs with the guy at the door at Skidrow Studios, and we were waiting for you guys, and then I saw you with your vampire-like dress walking across the street. I'm like, that's got to be them. Has anybody come in there, saw your appearance, and kind of freaked out? Like going to?
Well, I don't go to work dressed like this, obviously. But
you should.
I mean,
it might help the sale.
It might help the sales. Actually, I go to Bats Day and I sell funeral home property, but that's another discussion.
I've still never been to Bats Day.
You're not missing.
And I know Noah.
Actually, the last year was so, but every year before has been great.
Yeah, no, I hear it's great, but I just and I know Noah. Noah's great. He's always like, you should come by.
And he's a sweet guy.
I never do. Matter of fact, we might have Noah and Melissa on the show. We'll see what happens. Yeah, no, everybody wants to be on the show.
I bet.
All of a sudden,
you're a popular guy.
And actually, next week, and Hells, you're invited back next week if you'd like.
Yay!
Because we're going to have the Dark Mark Christmas Spectacular.
Awesome.
We're going to have the Punk Band Society 6 is going to be here.
Cool.
And we're going to have, Josie's bringing a lot of her Fear Leader friends. And I have
36, that's Matt's band.
I think so. You probably know him. And then,
yeah.
And then we have, no, different band. I know what you're talking about. And then we're going to have a surprise. Don't tell Josie, but Santa Claus is coming now.
Oh, wow. Will you be giving presents?
If you show up, I got some presents for you. I know what you like.
Yay!
So if you want to come next week, I'd love to say I've never had
I'll have a special Christmas outfit.
I've never had her and Josie in the studio at the same time.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Oh, it'll be great. So
it'll be great.
Because she started off as my host. And then she started
Josie.
And then she started flaking a couple weeks. And then Josie was my guest. And she's like, this is so much fun. Can I be your host?
Working.
You were working. And then Josie's like, this is so much fun. Can I do it every week? I'm like, sure. And then when Josie doesn't show up or she does yoga or whatever, Elle's Bell is here and she's great. So
cool.
So burlesque in January?
Yeah.
What's the theme this time?
I believe we're doing comic book nerd girls.
That's hot.
Wait, what a stretch.
Right, I know, huh?
So which comic book nerd girl are you planning on doing?
Captain America. Who else?
Oh, you're going to be Captain America.
I love Captain America.
Oh, really? Is that your favorite comic book character?
Yeah, he is.
Really? What's your favorite female comic book character?
I know he's trendy and everything. Female, it's kind of a hard, Mystique.
Okay.
Mystique. But you know what? Let me answer one of your questions because it's really funny. You asked me if anybody's ever asked me anything weird at the funeral home.
Right.
One of my weirdest questions was, this is when I was a funeral director.
Okay.
This little boy, he was probably about 7. He was running around the chapel, which is expected.
Right.
And he comes up to me and he goes, you like to play with dead people, don't you? Yeah. And he looks like a little demon himself. And I'm like, actually, I do. And he goes,
Damien.
And he goes, yeah, I figured as much. And I go, actually, little boys are my favorite.
Right. So
needless to say, his ass sat back down. And I think he told his mom, because after that, he kept it in like this stink eye. I thought for sure she was going to beat my ass on the way out.
So apparently
didn't.
This is the Sixth Sense for real.
Well, kind of, you know? And then sometimes I'll meet the families, and I had this one woman that didn't want me to touch her husband, even though he was dead. What the hell am I going to do, you know?
So they thought that you did things to the bodies.
Yeah. Well, when people meet me, they expect to meet, like I always say, the tall man from Phantasm.
Right,
that's what they
right.
expect us to look like.
Right.
So there have been a few, confused faces when I go to meet them, but
yeah.
After I get, talking to them, everybody's fine.
Boy, they expect that, and it's like
exactly.
That's the short, curvy, hot-looking girl that's at the funeral home. But so you guys met on Facebook. I'm going to go back to that. You conveniently skipped over that. So you're in Pennsylvania.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Somebody suggested. So this was just like this was probably a Facebook automated bot. Like
it was an automated bot because I had some of her mutual friends in my network because we know magicians from all over, and it just said, "Do you know Eden Draven?" And of course, there's like, "No, but I would like to."
Right.
So you send the request off, and she must have thought that I was either more famous than I was, or that I just had a cute face at the time, and just. Put me in her sphere, and it was first it was just very friendly, and then
which was it, Ed?
Well, I had a boyfriend at the time, so
okay.
I just thought he had a cool look, and he was a fellow magician, and why not?
Right.
This was like over a couple years ago.
You always need a backup plan, right, Hells?
Yes.
Okay, so
obviously.
So anyway, so then so at one point does this the messages turn serious when the boyfriend's out of the picture?
Boyfriend is out of the picture.
Right.
And were you single at this time? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Were you single?
No.
That's a good question.
Actually, when
I know she wasn't, but were you?
No, nothing. You just remind me. I was dating this god-awful woman when I... She knows who she is, so I don't need to mention, but it's... and I think she actually, there was a time she was over my shoulder because I sent you a message and you commented back about something. It was like something ridiculous, like I was just sort of like, have fun with your pirate, and you're like, haha, okay. And
oh yeah, that's when you were dating the pirate.
This girl leans over my shoulder and she's like, who's that? And I'm like, it's a friend. It's like, some friend. I'm like,
right.
Thank you for reminding me about that.
Little does she know what kind of friend I became.
But yeah, so time goes by and it was just like a bunch of like harmless, not even flirtations until I was.
It was in September.
It was in September when we started to talk fully because I just a few months earlier I found out that my ex-girlfriend had been cheating on me in the worst way. Just did not have the guts at all to tell me. So I was just like. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're on air and if I could get away with it.
Say fuck. Say whatever. We encourage.
Shit, bitch,
we encourage profanity. She showed her tits. What else are we gonna have? Yeah.
But yeah, so that went.
Show your dick. Who cares? We don't really care.
Can I really? No, I'm just kidding.
So I became this sort of dark troll myself for a while, and she had mentioned something about her ex, and I was just sort of like, you know what, I can empathize because of this, and that's when the doors opened, and eventually we just started flirting uncontrollably.
It's a sweet Facebook story.
This is a great Facebook story. This is a great story to end the show on. Two magicians find love and magic.
Okay, Facebook has... I have Facebook.
Facebook's where Hells and I met.
I have faith in Facebook now.
Hells is where Hells. Facebook is hell. Facebook is where Hells and I met, and now she's my co-host. And
you look very lovely tonight, by the way.
Thank you, Hells. Maybe more. Who knows? But I got to start flirting with you a little bit more.
There you go.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, so September, you guys started. You ditched the pirate. You ditched the cunt, and
the cunt.
It was serendipity because I wasn't even looking. That was the last thing I was even thinking about because the last person I dated I found online, and I thought things like, dating online has a bad rap.
In fact, he even told me not to date anybody until I was completely ready.
And when were you completely ready after he said that?
When I first saw his face.
I was like,
almost, no.
It was weird.
I did my friend's wedding, and they had this great photographer, and little did I know, she snapped this shot of me just chilling with a drink with
the one you posted.
The one I posted that all the girls were going crazy
same
for.
One. And
was that it for you, Eden?
I said, this is a great photo. Thank you. She let me post it. And the very first comment was from her. And if I remember correctly, it was just one word is hot. Or no.
I don't say hot.
No. It's
beautiful.
God. What did you say?
I said sexy.
That's exactly
sexy.
And all I could think was you got to be careful because if you say that, I'll never take the photo down.
And he hasn't.
Nope.
So
it all
started.
And the rest is history.
So here you go. Love, magic, and bare boobies. That's what the Dark Mark Show is all about. So Vince, so you're going back. Well, I have strong doubts that you'll be going back to Pennsylvania at all, but
might just be permanently.
Yeah, I think you might be. Yeah, you might be in LA. You might be
You'll be in LA for a little
at the
bit,
Magic Castle for a lot. And we didn't even talk about the Magic Castle and how great it is and how you got to go open sesame to the wall. It's the first time I've ever been there. Eden has invited me many a time, but I'll hang out with you guys. We'll have a drink soon. We'll bring the whole gang.
Wonderful.
Vincent, how do people get a hold of you? Because I Googled Vincent King, and there's an Elvis impersonator that comes up. How do people get a hold of you?
Right now, you can contact me through a link on the Magic Castle websites or the Academy of Magical Arts. That's the best way to get a hold of me. Right now, I'm laying low just a little bit. Like the clients who know me can still get a hold of me directly. But oddly enough, being the nerd that I am, I'm finishing up a master's degree on
super
magic.
Smart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so hot, though.
I would hope so.
Smart guys are hot.
Smart guys are hot.
That's why he has to go back to Pennsylvania for a while.
Otherwise, I probably would be like, you know what? I like to stay here.
Yes, I'll bet you can. And you will be back, I'm sure. Vincent, thanks for doing the show. Eden?
Pleasure.
Where do people get a hold of you?
They can reach me through the Magic Castle.
Okay, and Peep Show Menagerie, let's give them a plug.
Yes, you can reach me through Chris Beyond at Peep Show Menagerie.
And go to Facebook and look these people up.
Yeah, you could look me up on Facebook.
Eden Draven, but she's taken now.
I am definitely
you're going to get a lot of friend requests from Pennsylvania,
and,
she's hot.
New Jersey, and all these other places. Hells.
Yeah.
Any outrageous lube and toy thing before we go? Because we only got a minute.
I got lots of toys and lube, actually.
You want to do something before we go, or you want?
What would you like me to do?
I want you to give me that lap dance that I never got for my birthday, and Hell's Bell on Facebook. Because my birthday was 2 months, was November.
Can we play some music or something?
November 4th. We're going to play some music. Jeremy, can you play some music?
I can't hear that.
I'll give you that.
Oh, they put the song from Blade on for you, sweetie. You need...
We're getting as X-rated as you want to get, honey. Have a wonderfully creepy week, everybody.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Oh.